You've noticed cardinals returning to your yard year after year, but why? A hidden ritual they perform in winter, a bond that surprises even ornithologists. Stay to the end, because you'll learn how a single act of kindness can change a bird's life forever. Number 1. The unseen memory of cardinals is a quiet marvel that unfolds in your yard long after the last seed is gone. These birds don't just visit feeders, they remember your face, your routine, and the comfort of your presence. Northern cardinals have been shown to recognize human faces and return to feeders where they've had positive interactions. A study from the Cornell Lab of Ornithology reveals that cardinals form lasting associations with people who provide food. What this means for you is that your yard becomes a familiar haven for these birds, even when you're not there. It's like having a feathered friend who always knows the way home. Beyond their ability to recall human faces, cardinals also keep a mental map of your yard's resources. A 2018 study in PNAS showed that birds can remember feeding sites and human interactions, even without being rewarded every time. This means that cardinals might visit your yard for years, returning not just for food, but for the comfort of a place that feels safe and familiar. These memories aren't just about survival, they're about trust and connection. You may not notice them every day, but cardinals are quietly learning your yard's rhythms. This kind of loyalty is rare in the animal world and speaks to the deep bond you can have with these birds. Over time, these memories create a kind of legacy that outlives even the most devoted birdwatcher. A 20-year study by the National Audubon Society found that cardinals can visit the same yard for up to 15 years, showing that these birds are not just passing through, they're making a home. This long-term loyalty means that your yard becomes a part of their life story, one that continues even when you're not looking. What this means for you is that you're not just feeding birds, you're becoming a part of their journey. And as the seasons change, you may find that your cardinals return not just for food, but for the comfort of a place that has become familiar. What happens next? That's a story still being written. Number 2. The secret language of feeding is a hidden conversation that happens right in your yard. Cardinals don't just flit from branch to branch, they communicate through subtle signals that keep their flock safe. Imagine watching from your window as a male cardinal lets out a soft, high-pitched chickadee call, a silent warning that echoes through the trees. This unique sound, as noted by the University of Washington's Ornithology Department, is a way for cardinals to alert their mates and neighbors to nearby dangers without drawing attention to themselves. What this means for you is that your yard may be hosting a private, ongoing dialogue between birds, one that you can observe if you know where to look. The next time you hear that call, you may be witnessing a moment of protection. An ornithology department is a way for cardinals to alert their mates and neighbors to nearby dangers without drawing attention to themselves. What this means, beyond warnings, cardinals also have a way of choosing where to visit, and it all starts with the seeds you offer. Sunflower seeds, with their rich oils and easy-to-peck shells, are a favorite among cardinals, and studies have shown that when these seeds are available, cardinals return to feeders up to 40% more often. This is not just about taste, it's about trust and familiarity. The presence of a trusted food source becomes a beacon for cardinals, drawing them from far and wide. You might notice that certain feeders become more popular over time, not just because of the seed inside, but because of the history they hold with the birds who visit them. This silent loyalty is a form of bird social behavior that you can influence through your choices in the yard. Even more fascinating is how cardinals seem to follow the footsteps of others. In a 2019 experiment, they were shown to favor feeders that had already been visited by their own kind, even when identical feeders were placed nearby. This preference suggests that cardinals are not only social creatures, but also strategic ones, using the choices of others as a guide. It's like they're tapping into a shared knowledge, one that helps them navigate the world of food and safety. What this tells you is that your yard has the power to become a hub of bird activity, simply by having the right feeders in place. And just imagine, what other secrets might these birds be sharing in the next section? Number 3. The emotional connection you never knew is deeper than you might imagine. Birds are not just passive observers in your yard. They are keenly aware of your presence, and in many ways, they respond to your actions. Studies show that cardinals emit specific alarm calls when unfamiliar humans approach their nests, a behavior that suggests a level of recognition and awareness that is truly remarkable. This doesn't just mean they are watching you, it means they are assessing you, and in some cases, even trusting you. What this means for you is that your yard is not just a place of observation, but a shared space of coexistence. The birds are learning to associate you with safety, and that bond can be powerful and lasting. The emotional bond between you and the birds in your yard is not just one-sided. When you feed them regularly, they begin to see you as a reliable source of food, and in some cases, they will even approach you in the presence of potential threats. This behavior has been noted by the National Geographic Society, showing that birds can become remarkably comfortable with human interaction. They may even recognize your voice or your footsteps, treating you as an extension of their environment. This level of familiarity is not just about food, it's about trust. It's a silent, unspoken agreement that your yard is a place of safety for them. This bond can be a source of comfort and joy for you as well, transforming your yard into a sanctuary of shared companionship. Even more astonishing is the loyalty these birds can show. A survey by the American Birding Association found that over 80% of birdwatchers reported cardinals returning to their yards year after year, many noting a strong emotional connection. This loyalty suggests that the birds not only remember your yard, but also your presence. They may be coming back not just for the food, but for the comfort and familiarity you provide. This bond goes beyond the physical. It's a testament to the emotional intelligence of these creatures. As we continue to explore this connection, you'll see how your role as a caretaker in their world can be both meaningful and deeply rewarding. What other secrets might your feathered friends be willing to share with you? Number 4. The mating dance of return. This is how cardinals write love letters in your yard. Each year, male cardinals return to the same yard, not just for familiarity, but to rekindle a bond that may have started the year before. These birds are not only choosing a location, but a partner. Their return is a declaration: I remember you, and I'm here to stay. This ritual is not random, it's a calculated move in the game of survival and love. What this means for you is that your yard becomes a sanctuary for not just one pair, but potentially a lifelong relationship. The next time you see a male cardinal, you're witnessing a story of continuity. Female cardinals, too, are drawn to the same yards that have become familiar through previous visits by their mates. This is more than a preference, it's a survival tactic. Research from the University of Minnesota shows that these females are more likely to nest in the same yard if their mate has returned before. It's as if they're reading the same love letter you've received. This behavior reduces the energy needed to find a new partner and increases their chances of raising strong, healthy offspring. The yard becomes a home not just for the pair, but for their future generations. Each season deepens the bond, making your yard a living testament to their devotion. Over time, the same yard can transform into a lifelong mating ground for cardinals, increasing their survival and reproduction rates by up to 30%. This is a rare and powerful example of how nature uses repetition for success. Each year, the same pair returns, building on the nest they made before, sharing the same songs, the same rituals. It's a partnership that strengthens with every season. Your yard is not just a place for them, it's a legacy. And as they continue their dance year after year, you're not just watching birds, you're witnessing a love story that could last a lifetime. Next, we'll uncover how your yard can become a haven for even more feathered friends. Number 5. The survival strategy of familiarity is a hidden force in your backyard. When birds return to the same yard year after year, they're not just coming back for the seeds, they're building a survival map. A 2017 study in the Journal of Ornithology found that these returning birds have a higher chance of surviving harsh winters. They know the safest spots, the best times to feed, and how to avoid predators. This familiarity is more than comfort, it's a survival tactic. What this means for you is that your yard becomes a sanctuary. Not just for you is that your yard becomes a sanctuary, not just for food, but for safety. Imagine a cardinal that has been fed by you over the years. It's not just a routine, it's a learned behavior that helps it thrive. The National Wildlife Federation notes that cardinals with a history of human interaction are more likely to survive extreme weather. They've learned to trust your presence, which means they can spend less energy being cautious and more on finding food. This trust leads to a unique bond, one that reduces the bird's anxiety and stress levels. The energy saved from this familiarity is not trivial. It can mean the difference between life and death in the coldest months. Your role is more than feeding, it's about offering a sense of security. Even the smallest interactions between you and your feathered friends can build a legacy of survival. A 2019 study from the University of Florida found that familiarity with a human feeder can cut a bird's energy expenditure by up to 15%. This is a measurable impact, one that allows birds to spend more energy on growth, nesting, and thriving. The more familiar they become with your yard, the more they benefit. These birds are not just visitors, they're part of your ecosystem, and as you continue to provide for them, they'll keep coming back, stronger and more resilient. What happens when these familiar birds teach others the same path? Number 6. The emotional echo of your yard. Did you know that cardinals can sense your presence even when you're not there? These birds have an uncanny ability to remember the scents of people who have fed them, and they often return to the same yard, even after months of absence. This connection is not just about food, it's about trust and familiarity. Your yard becomes a place they associate with safety and comfort. What this means for you is that your presence, even when invisible, can leave a lasting impression on these feathered neighbors. Cardinals don't just return to familiar places, they remember the humans who have fed them. An experiment in 2020 revealed that these birds can distinguish the scent of a person who has previously given them food, even when there's no food in sight. This deep recognition suggests a level of awareness that goes beyond instinct. It's a form of emotional memory, where your presence becomes a signal of safety and nourishment. Your yard is not just a physical space, but a living memory for these birds. This connection is both remarkable and deeply personal. Some cardinals have even been seen waiting at feeders for humans, even when no food is available. This behavior, documented in 2021, shows that these birds are not just reacting to immediate needs, they're forming emotional associations with the people who visit their yard. Your actions, even when you're not there, can shape their routines and expectations. This bond is not just about survival, it's about companionship. And while this section explores the emotional echo of your yard, it only begins to scratch the surface of the deeper stories these birds carry with them. One winter morning, as you watch a cardinal perch on the same branch as last year, you may feel a quiet sense of connection, as if the bird is returning not just for food, but to remember you and the bond you've quietly built. It's a moment that humbles you, reminding you that you are not alone in this world. Science may tell us that birds return for familiar territory, but in that stillness you feel something deeper, a gentle, spiritual thread that ties you to this creature and to the earth itself. In that moment, time feels suspended. You are both witness and participant in something sacred, a shared memory between you and a creature that has no words, yet communicates in the language of return. It's a reminder that even in the coldest of seasons, there is warmth. There is connection. There is love that needs no explanation. You may not fully understand the science behind it, but you know in your heart that this bird is not just visiting, it is coming home, just as you are. What's the most surprising thing you've noticed about the cardinals that visit your yard? We'd love to hear your stories. Share them below. Whether you're a seasoned birder or just curious, I'm here for you. Stay curious, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next one.